Hill, it caught my eye. Most young men are single. Most young women are not.
Young men have fallen faster than any demographic in America over the last 40 years.
It's a different world now. Like, we don't need men the way that they used to.
The future is female.
Men and women are drifting further apart, and society is crumbling because of it.
A fascinating debate has broken out about the value of marriage.
You've kind of got the trad-con versus red pill thing.
This men's rights crowd that sometimes just goes too far the other way.
You need to stop acting like grown boys and infants and actually become men.
Marriage is a bond, and it's a sacred bond.
It's a machine designed to extract resources from you.
Now many of the red-pilled have taken the position that it's bad for men to get married.
Hannah Pearl Davis, or just Pearly things.
One of the most controversial faces in all of the internet.
She goes on to say that marriage is a terrible deal for men.
Because if me and you were in a business contract, you would never sign a contract where I am paid to leave.
Gee, what could go wrong there?
74% or something of divorces are initiated by women. Men have everything to lose, primarily their own children.
Men get killed by the courts and by divorce laws.
I had no idea that courts of family law were courts of equity, not courts of law.
Because in family court, you don't need evidence to accuse someone of abuse. You need no evidence. When you guys say get married young, a lot of these men don't know what they're signing up for, and you're not going to be there when their entire life falls apart. I interview them on the other side.
I didn't meet my son until he was 15 months old.
How much did you spend trying to get him back?
On legal fees alone was about $200,000.
Before you know it, you're homeless. You're literally just thrown out onto the street.
We absolutely reinforce bad behavior from women.
Wives are taught to leave their husbands, and then daughters grow up without their fathers.
Family is the foundation of society.
Every problem in society comes from single mother homes.
A lot of women will just chase this negative rabbit hole of happiness, endless happiness.
Feminism's biggest failures is it lies to women. We tell women to date as many guys as possible. We tell them to put off family into marriage.
You are allowed to leave your perfect husband. You are allowed to end a relationship with a really great boyfriend.
Oh, freeze your eggs, have an abortion. What? You're evil.
I don't think there's anything else in life that we actually ever go into preparing to fail. Right. Like if you have the mentality of this is going to go wrong and be pessimistic, naturally the outcome is going to be that it's going to fail anyway. Yeah. It's self-sabotage. And that's the thing, like women are so willing to leave marriages because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children. And the problem is we have a modern society where it's me, my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kids.
This myth that we live in an age of male privilege. Where's my male privilege?
They think, well, men have all the rights. They have all the power.
Privileged patriarchal system that we have.
Why doesn't our society care about men's rights?
I have no friends, no wife, and no social life.
Men are alone in this situation. Men are homeless. Men are thinking about eating guns.
I've seen so many men on the brink of suicide, and they didn't do anything wrong.
How are you equal if the men are the ones that have to fight and die to defend the country? The men are the ones that build and maintain all the infrastructure.
Women are helplessly dependent upon men.
The so-called deaths of despair from suicide, overdose, to alcohol, 3 times higher among men than among women.
Culture is telling men, you are no good.
You got to get your act together.
I think men have failed themselves.
What kind of a man are you? What kind of a woman are you going to attract?
If men are in trouble, so are women.
Everybody knows this is a huge problem, but nobody wants to admit it.
Every single woman at the table said they wanted a man.
500K,
500K,
200K,
300K,
200K.
Am I crazy?
Everything is really set up against you to fail as a man.
If men make less than women, women don't want to marry them.
So you know who wants more economically and emotionally viable men? Women.
I don't want to be an independent woman anymore.
I don't want to be a strong, independent woman.
I'm over it.
When is it going to be my turn?
Where are we meeting the men that don't stop?
I can't keep having these same conversations.
The only simp here is you, Pearl. You simp for men.
I think you simp for women.
She's a provocateur. She says stupid stuff, but Pearl is right about this.
It's already happening. It's just not out in the open yet.
Now it's just hookup culture is going to be our fairy tale ending because men don't want a wife and women can't find a husband.
The future, if everybody follows your path, is there is no future.
We go into population decline, and our economy goes into decline.
Civilization will crumble.
The American story does not end well. This is an existential crisis failing young men.
What up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily. I am your host, Pearl, and today we are going to be talking about when modern wives cheat.
But before we get into today's topic, I want to send a thank you to Aaron Lev. I'm not going to say the ad because I don't want to dox anybody, but thank you so much for the donation. He donated $1,000. Guys, we are $500 away from raising $30,000 for the divorce documentary. I want to first say thank you guys all so much. It really means a lot to me. If we get to roughly $100,000, I can hire a full-time editor on site to get this done. That's like for like the next year. Okay. So anyways, I wanted to first say thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And if you do want to donate, it's the second link in the description. Otherwise, we are starting a members only community where you can improve your fitness, your money, and also it teaches you how to use the court system against your ex. Not immoral, not illegal, slightly immoral, but it's in the community. You do have to apply for it. So anyways, that's my sales pitch for the day. So I was talking to someone. I kind of want to just start off the show telling you guys about a conversation I had and just some of my general thoughts before we get into the topic. So there was somebody that I had a conversation with that was like, person C was pissed off about something I said. This happens to me a lot. You know, you talk for 3 hours straight, some woman watches your show and they just feel the need to nag you or send men that are easily manipulated to nag you about whatever. So this person comes up to me and they're like, all right, what is your platform about? And I was trying to think of how I could give an overview of what I'm trying to say and like what I believe. And he's like, are you pushing for change? Are you trying to, and I'm like, I'd love to see change, but I don't want to sell hope. I think that's kind of dishonest. And I don't think it's going to happen. And this person was like, well, things change all the time. And why don't you think it's going to happen? And the best way I could describe it to somebody that doesn't follow the content is women make 80% of consumer buying decisions. Women spend, men don't. And what we're seeing going on is society is trying to give women as much money as possible in order to give us the power to make them money. So plastic surgeons benefit if women spend money on plastic surgery. Restaurants benefit if women are going out to the restaurants with their friends. And the reason academia is so messed up is because any study that says anything negative about women isn't going to be funded because women are behind everything. And I was just trying to explain that, and I was trying to give this rough overview. I'm like, look, all of society is catering to women. They give women easier grades in high school, not all, but a lot. They give women easier jobs after college, and they pay women more for doing less, and they bail women out of debt, and men end up paying for it either through marriage or through our taxes or through some government bailout program. And when they look into the numbers, yes, there are men that make the poor decisions too, but in general, it's mostly women. And now that women have all this power and freedom, we're finding out that women's true nature is that they don't want to be moms and they're whores. And they're not as nurturing as we thought. They're like sleeping with middle schoolers and killing kids every other week. Women's true nature is not nice, special, and awesome. And this person was like, well, isn't that kind of bleak? And I'm like, yeah, but why do I have to be? And some of your comments from yesterday's show, a lot of them were saying, I've watched you forever, Pearl. You know, I've poured so much into this channel, but you know, your new messaging is just, it's so sad. And I had to think about it. I had to think about, how did I get to this point? Why was I so much more hopeful 2 or 3 years ago than I am now? And I would say it's because when I started seeing men's point of view and kind of arguing more on the side of men, people started treating me like a man. Calling out female sin, you get treated just like men. And it's so depleting and exhausting because you might say, like, if I say women are whores, I have to deal with 10 women screaming at me that they're not in fact whores before I can even get to my point. That you just start to be like, do I really want to go into this today? Do I really? And I think that's what men go through, is they realize if they're honest with women, they either lose money or they get screamed at, and it's just not worth the hassle. Like, I saw Jesse Lee Peterson, and I'm a big fan of him, but he had something, he said, why are men afraid of women? I'm like, I'm kind of afraid of women. They have so much power. They have the state on their side, the police on their side, the media on their side. They kind of scare me. I'm even afraid to be honest about things that have gone on the last few years, because if I'm honest, these women retaliate. They retaliate times 10. But when somebody's blue-pilled, it is so difficult to explain this to them, because this person was like, that's just not what I've seen. And I always respect someone's right to have a difference of opinion or not agree with me or whatever. But I was trying to explain to this person that men literally produce 80% of the world's stuff. How the hell are we even close to making the same amount of money? Women get control of 100% of who's born. Women have all the power. We're in a matriarchy now. Anyways, I just kind of wanted to give you guys that rant. We're going to do a show tomorrow. Or maybe not tomorrow or Monday. I haven't decided if I'm going to stream tomorrow or not. But we're going to do a show tomorrow where you guys can call in the people that maybe have changed their opinion about me or feel as though I've changed. You know, it's really going to ask the question, why should we have hope? Why? What is the purpose? Okay, so I'm done with that riff. Let me know if you have any thoughts in the comments. But we are going to get into today's show topic. So, all right. Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily. Now, I've said for years that marriage is a bad deal for men. Why would a man get married in 2025? Now, when I first started my platform, I was very naive. I thought that there was a reason for men to get married. I didn't understand why men didn't want to get married. I didn't. People around me were married. It didn't, even if they divorced, it didn't seem that bad on paper. But a crazy thing happens when you start getting red-pilled, and I'll tell you what. I'll give you an example of something that red-pilled me. So when I interviewed the 1,000 women, and I realized how often women lied about abuse, because I would ask, the women would say they were abused, and I would say, okay, how were you abused? And I would ask them like 10 questions, and they would just, their story would fall apart. And I thought, okay, now if these women are all lying about this, what does that mean about like the general population? Like that has to extrapolate to like my childhood. And there was one man who was a soldier in my hometown, but he was deployed. And his wife, that was the story, that he was abusive. And so years later, because you hear these stories and you're just like, oh, he must have been abusive. And years later, retrospectively, you realize that the guy wasn't. But he had to go through all of that pain. Like it probably took him a decade to clear his reputation. So again, I was naive because from my perspective, you know, men are often silent about what they're going through in marriage. You don't realize it. There were so many benefits for men, I used to think. But after doing my show in London, filming a divorce documentary, and just observing modern women in society, I realized how wrong I was. Men get nothing from marriage, absolutely nothing. And the risk you take from getting married is not worth the cost of getting divorced. So let's say a man does get married. He's going to have to marry one of these modern women who value their happiness and their selfish desires more than anything. And what do selfish women do? They cheat. It's estimated that 24% of women cheat on their boyfriends and their husbands. And that is a self-reported stat, meaning we all know that women rarely say anything to make themselves or other women look bad. So I would doubt that number. The average man has to have a plan for not if, but when their girlfriend cheats on them. And that's the sad reality. It's the current times that we are living in. That is what we're going to talk about today. Wives that cheat on their husband. So this is going to be a call-in show. So as I go through these clips, I want you to get ready to call in and talk about if you caught your wife or your girlfriend cheating on you. How did you find out? Why did she say she cheated? And what type of guy did she cheat with? I also want to know if she gaslit as hard as these women do in these videos, because these are pretty insane. Okay, so we're going to watch.
What you got going on? What? This is a friend?
All right, so.
Yo, Elena, what you got going on? What? This is a friend? Yes. So this is what you turned Jehovah's Witness for?
So she's dying on this lie. She's dying on the lie. Yep, she's like, I'm dying by this. I'm dying on this sword. He's a friend.
Bro, and you got my kids on the ground. Bro, you got my kids on the ground, bro. My daughter's on the ground. Winston, a grown ass nigga like this. I'm not even mad, bro, but she gotta go, bro. I mean, she got DCF problems. She got all types of stuff, bro. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is really crazy. This is crazy, bro. I don't know how you. Well, you know what? That don't even matter, bro. But dude, she got 2 kids, bro. She like, if you see my daughter's on the ground, bro. Like, no, seriously, she's on the ground, bro.
Okay. So how do we rate her lying? What do we think? All right, next we got man catches his wife in Walmart with another man.
That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good.
What are you doing here?
What am I doing here?
No, I don't know this guy. What are you doing here?
What am I doing here? Really?
Stop.
Really?
Stop filming. What are you doing?
Who's this guy?
Oh my, I'm sorry.
Dude, hold on.
No,
dude.
everything's not okay. What are you doing filming? Stop, turn it off.
Aren't you her boss? Isn't that your boss?
Oh my God, I don't want to be sorry.
Are you guys in work hours right now?
Yeah, we're working. Stop.
Are you guys working by injury?
Seriously, why are you even
by
here?
Injury? Really? Really?
Oh my God.
Outside.
No, we're not going outside.
There's nothing sadder than a guy catching a girl cheating and still trying to order his wife around, bro. She's gone. Get your video, go to court, file the papers.
Oh my God.
Outside.
No, we're not going outside. We're not going outside.
Really? Really? You're cheating on me? Really? Really? Where are you going? You don't have to pay for that. Just put it here for now. Really?
Dude, why are you following us? Why are you following us? Wait, seriously. Stop.
Really? No, really? You're cheating?
Going out sad. All right, we got a man catching his wife at the pool with another man.
Yeah. Oh, it's my think she's slick. Oh, so we rubbing our toes, huh? That's what we doing? That's what we doing? That's what we doing, my man. Where you going? That's what we doing? Huh? Oh, you stuck. You stuck now, huh? You think I'm stupid, huh? You think I'm stupid? What's up? Talk to me. What's this? Oh, so you can't, you mute now. Now you done turned to a mute. Let the whole world see you. Yeah, there you go. What's up? Talk to me. What's this? Oh, you can't talk? You can't talk now? Really? Wow. You can't talk. So he didn't abandon you. You can't talk now? Huh? Huh? Now, my man, come get back on them toes.
Getting out.
No, you getting out, huh? So you about to prove so you at work.
So far, I think she's done the best reaction. You got to just shut up. Don't defend yourself. Just shut up.
Huh? So you about to prove so you at work.
How did you know I was
You
here?
at work, though?
How did you know?
You at work, though? Work? This what you doing at work?
So if I'm at work,
You got the shoulder, but you got the toes in the water. That's what you doing at work?
If I'm at work,
Huh?
how did you know
Come
I was
here. What you
here?
over
Why
there
you not
doing
at
now?
work?
Come
Look
back
at
over here.
me.
Come back over here, man.
So why you not at work?
Huh?
Are you recording me?
5 years.
You recording me?
5 years, though.
Yeah. All right, next we got a man surprises a woman with a video of her cheating. Okay, so
That's you cheating on me. That's you cheating on me. So get the fuck out of my house right now. All right, sit up straight. You're hunching over.
I know. I saw you sitting straight.
Well, sit up straight. All right. Okay. You ready? Okay. I made a card for you. Remove the blindfold. Yeah! That's you cheating on me. So get the f- out of my house right now. I'm glad you drove an hour for no f***ing reason, and this is going on YouTube, sweetheart. I know you don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Get the f- out. Get out. Get out of my house right now. Leave. Hey, hey. Leave YouTube. You're going to be famous, sweetheart.
Yeah. She had a good reaction. Now, if I was to advise a cheater, I'd just say to stay calm. Because this guy, it's like he's trying to exert authority he doesn't have anymore. He's like trying to make her sad. She doesn't care.
And back picture of your ID. Leave, leave, and leave.
Okay. All right. Apparently someone else caught his wife cheating on Valentine's Day. All right, full screen. That guy's face was so funny. Oh my god.
It's not what it looks like, Mike.
He said it's not what it looks like. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, and I want to see this one.
It's actually my wife for 10 years. Yeah. 10 years, buddy. 10 years. Eileen, is there anything you want to say?
I mean, she never told me anything about having a husband or anything. She's connected on.
Well, looks like both of you are in real big trouble. But you know what? I'm going to let you go just for this one time. 10 miles, usually I pull people over, give them really big tickets, but you didn't know this was my wife? Yeah. You didn't know? So you lied to him. You never told him me and you were married.
Never asked whether or not
Never
we were
asked.
married.
I mean, like, I like, first that you weren't like, it's all the basic things, like, me to say you're married or something like that. I mean, like, that's basic.
You don't have to help, you know? I mean, you didn't ask. So.
Well, I mean, like, you're on like Tinder, it's like, what are you doing?
Okay, well, sir.
Women gaslight to the end of time. They say, why do you enjoy watching the men getting crushed? I don't enjoy it, but there are times when it's just don't go out sad. Do you know what I mean? If a girl tells you she doesn't want you through her actions or her words, just let her go.
Sir, I've had enough of this. You are good to go. I'm not shaking your head. Don't let me see you again.
He's like, the guy tried to shake his hand. Okay, let's see the next one. All right, we're gonna make it full screen.
Here. What do you mean what I'm doing here? This is my house. I thought you guys weren't even together. No, hell yeah, we together 23 years.
What? The phone is too much. What is going on?
What do you mean the phone is too much? Hell no, we're not separated, man. We got 2 kids together. You ain't telling that? I ain't putting down nothing. This is going on Facebook Live. Where do you mean you gotta go? What the doing with the place too? Are you filming this? Yes, I'm filming this. Look what we got here. We got champagne, strawberry, orange juice. Oh, look over here, Facebook. We got some bacon, grits.
It's pretty nice. Pretty nice food.
We got some bacon, grits, pancakes, eggs.
What?
Are you filming? Yeah, I'm filming this.
Why?
Why wouldn't I film this? I'm gonna post it. Facebook Live. Let's go live, everybody. How do you think I found out? 23 years at the house. The neighbors told me. Dumb.
You can't film this. I have a wife and kids.
Hey, man, that sounds like a personal problem.
You can't film this. I have a wife and kids.
Hey, man, that sounds like a personal problem.
Dude, the comments are saying with Bart Simpson, with him, you can't film this. I have a wife and kids. Well, so did the guy filming. It's not his fault for thinking that the wife was separated, but it is his fault for stepping out of his own marriage. Yeah. All right, he was helping her out with groceries. Let's see this next one. Oh, wait, we saw this one. Oh, wait, no. Okay.
What's going on with you, brother? You alright? That's his girl. You alright? That's his girl. What's going on? What's going on with y'all? You alright? I was just about to help her with her groceries.
I was about to help her with her groceries.
Bro, stop here, bro. Yo, stop playing with me, bro. Bro, why you coming at me, bro? What groceries, bro? It was a pool, bro. Why you coming at me? Who is that, bro? Who is it? Why are you coming? Why are you coming? Don't worry about that.
Just chill.
I'm bugging, bro. You just sitting over here canoodling.
We just saw y'all cuddled up and talking and laughing like.
Groceries or not? Yes, bro, bro, it's a pool right here, bro. What groceries, bro? We was talking about going to get the groceries.
Bro, he was helping me with
why you pressing me for? Like,
this is my cousin. This, y'all cousins? Yes. My cousin was helping me bring the groceries in the house.
He is black. Why are you pressing me? He's Mexican. He is black. Press her.
So y'all cousins.
That's my cousin.
So y'all want.
He's black and you're Mexican.
Doing nothing.
Mexican and black.
So y'all want doing nothing.
They like was doing that?
Yeah, I can't decide who's the guy getting cheated on. If it's the big guy, you kind of did that to yourself. A girl that thin, she's gonna cheat after so long.
We wasn't even doing nothing. Y'all up here by yourself.
Okay.
And why you won't answer his phone calls? He called you.
You heard boyfriend
too many times. Nah, that's her.
Yeah, bro. With that, bro.
Chill.
So cooked. All right. Next, we got a woman cheated with her coworker.
What's the going on? Because this is my stuff. This is my.
Yeah, it is your so get your and get the out.
What?
Get the out. Get your and get the out.
For what?
Get the not. Who is Zoe?
Who?
Zoe.
I don't know.
Zoe, you stop playing that. The dude already showed me the message. I'm on it. Just
I don't know. So what are you talking about?
You don't know. So if I hit him up, you're not gonna know him.
My coworker.
Oh yeah. Now you remember. Huh?
You know him. You've been around. So that's my coworker. That's like my friend. That's like my partner. I know his girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, does his girlfriend know that you? Do your girlfriend know your partner? Quote unquote.
We my brother, like my bro.
Just see, I know how that game. Just look, just get. It's cool. I'm not tripping. Get your and get out. Just get
like
I like this guy's reaction. He's not saying, "Oh, you're gonna be YouTube famous." He said, "It's cool. I'm not tripping. Get your shit and get out." That's it.
I'm not tripping. Get your and get out. Just get
Like
your
you
things.
you
Bro, get
you're
your
gonna
thing-
go by what somebody
Get
else
your
said.
things and get the out, please.
You
It's
doing?
simple.
You're gonna do this on Christmas Eve.
It's not extra.
Yep. Yes, he is. Okay, next, husband catches wife cheating. We got the last one. Let's put the Zoom link in the chat, and you guys can tell me if you've caught someone cheating, how it happened. Men or women, feel free.
Here, folks. Here, folks.
Why are you following me?
What are you doing?
Recording me?
What are you doing?
Why are you recording me?
Say hi.
Hi.
What?
Hello.
What you doing here?
What you mean? I told you I was gonna go to Tiffany.
Oh, Tiffany?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna ask you one more time. What are you doing here?
I already told you I'm going to meet Tiffany.
So, what about Mitchell, the personal trainer? You don't know?
Huh? What?
Anyone else got by a personal trainer? That'll do it.
Huh?
And the jujitsu instructors.
Huh? What?
Huh? You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
Mitchell? No? You know, the one you sent your list to. You don't remember that one?
So you've been going through my phone?
No. I Mitchell. I catfish your mother ass. Catch you.
What?
I tried to text you and I knew your ass. I knew you.
Why would you do that?
Why do some shit like that? I can't believe this shit. How the f you gonna do this shit?
How you gonna do this shit to me?
This shit is wild, man. It's a thing. I was about to make you my wife.
Oh, yeah, right. It's been 3 years.
Oh,
3 years.
3 years. So what's this, baby? What's this? What's this, huh? What's that? What's that? Huh? What's that?
She's like, damn.
Baby, my fuck up. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. You're a $5. What you gonna do? Meet up with them suckers that come back and kiss me in the mall? It ain't like that, no. You was just talking. You do not know that that's in your lips?
Yep. All right, guys, call in. I want to hear from you. Have you caught your ex cheating? And if so, how? What type of guys was she cheating with? We got Doug MPA on the line.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
So tell me, what are your thoughts on the show?
So I waited tables at this restaurant in my hometown, and this waitress, she was out for a couple of weeks, and then she came back and she was like half limping. And I'm like, what happened to you? She's like, yeah, I got in a car accident. Well, I come from a town that's big. It's a big town, but a small town socially.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I researched my sources and I found out that her and her baby's father, they were breaking up and getting back together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they were in an in-between period, and she was at Target and she saw her baby's father with another woman. And
no,
it's funny because, I know this girl since elementary school. She's one of those light-skinned black girls. But a lot of the light-skinned black girls, they overcompensate in the ratchet to try to prove how black they are. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So anyway, so she's one of those. So she's yelling and screaming in Target. She's running after them. So her baby's father grabs his girlfriend's hand and they're running through Target and she's running after him. They jump in the girl's car and take off. She takes off in her car and she's ramming them off the road. Like she's driving after him, catches up to him, rams him off the road into a light pole. Yeah. Yep. And so
did they get back together?
I don't even, did I even ask back then? I don't even know. But I just know that she had to go to the hospital because of the car accident. And she was on muscle relaxers and had to go through physical therapy because of the car accident. But she chased him in her car and then ran him off the road and hit a light pole.
Pearl Reed, I showed 10 seconds of Nala Ray to my girlfriend and she agreed with you completely. That's after 30, stop asking why. I don't get why men have to record, but I guess it's to show proof that they weren't abusive when they exposed the cheater.
Here's the thing, guys. Women record everything, so men should too. It's always better to have a camera out and catch things on camera. You don't know why men have to record. What is that about? Always, especially as a man. If a woman's in your house and does anything, whip out your phone and record it. It's your best chance when the police come. And stop trying to hold men to this higher standard. Men used to hold themselves to a higher standard, but women call that patriarchy. So don't, fight fire with fire. If women record everything, you should too.
Is there anyone on the line?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. There's... Oh, actually, I do have a cheating story. This wasn't me, but this was someone I knew in school, how she caught her boyfriend cheating. Mm-hmm. She had his location, so I don't know why he would do it so openly when it's kind of normal in the younger generations. People just share each other's location.
Dumbest thing I ever heard.
What?
It's the dumbest thing I ever heard, but that's how I caught my ex-wife cheating.
You had her. Okay, you can tell the story next. But this guy... But I kind of knew because I warned her before she dated him. I'm like, look, this guy... He's do what you want, but I'm just letting you know he's always cheated. She kept going. I'm like, okay. Because she was like a young freshman girl, right? And long story short, she finds his location is at his ex-girlfriend's dorm. That was at a school nearby, 30 minutes. But on the phone, it was kind of crazy because he had this whole elaborate story. And he was like, oh my, he kept saying that people were suicidal. So, because I was there when she was on the phone with him. And he was like, oh, she was threatening to commit suicide, so I had to come. There's all these cops here and whatever. And there was another girl there, and she was like, could you just go check this dorm? Because she knew someone at that school. So she's like, is there an ambulance there? Is there? Which we all knew was kind of BS. But this guy just it was weird listening to him because he just was dying on this lie. And then it got even weirder because then she broke up with him. And then he was threatening to kill himself. He was like, oh, I'll kill myself. And then we got on the phone. She was calling his family to make sure he didn't. This is when we were 20 or 21. And it was so weird because the sister did not care. I think he did this on the regular with his girlfriends. Because she was really concerned on the phone and talking to the sister and the mom. Oh, he's threatening to kill himself. And they're just uh-huh. And I'm sitting there why are you buying this? So we took this one step further. The girl that I'm talking about, she was a light-skinned black girl. And basically he transferred or something. But he went to a different school, but it was pretty close because where I went, there was a lot of small schools right next to each other. And I figured they're mostly white schools, so I figured he had a type. He probably liked light-skinned black girls. So I knew it's such a small school that everyone knows someone at one of these schools. And they ended up getting screenshots from one of the girls. We just looked at the rosters on the volleyball and basketball pages. And so it's if you look up the light-skinned black girls at a white school, there's only going to be so many. Do you know what I'm saying? There's 5 girls to ask. And yeah, they found a side chick in a day. So it wasn't that hard. But I'll be honest, though, they stayed together. I've talked about this before. That was the last time I ever involved myself in something like that because it was very awkward for me because they stayed together.
Ugh.
I know. They stayed together after all that. And he hated me and this other because it was the freshman girl and then me and this other girl that were there. And he hated it. It was so awkward after that. He was so pissed. And I was like, you know what? Hindsight 2020, I should just never have gotten involved. Never. I was like, I learned the lesson. I was like, because I think I took it too far by I shouldn't have messaged the girls at the other schools, but I'm like, it's so easy. Like, just ask. And hindsight 2020, but we did get screenshots of him like DMing them in like a day. It wasn't that hard.
I told you guys the story about my relationship with my mom most of my life. She was awful, but she did give me some good advice. She told me when I was young, if a girl tries to do that, I'm going to kill myself. Don't fall for it. And you know what's a good response if someone tries to say that to you, you're in a relationship with them or you're breaking up with them? She said, you know what you know what you should say? Say, go ahead.
I know. Seriously. She should.
Go ahead. Do it.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone hold you emotionally hostage like that. Why? No, don't let them do it. And I can say, so I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I got to the point where I had my ex-wife's location and she was at a restaurant with another guy and I was outside and I was like, should I go in? And I didn't go in.
You didn't?
I didn't. Nope.
Why?
I actually called my family. And I called my father actually, and he's like, "What are you gonna go in there for? Nothing good can happen if you go in there."
Oh, because it could have been a fight or like.
Yep. You're my son. I don't want to see you go to jail or anything, so don't go in there. And he was right. I didn't go in there.
So it was. Did you see the guy or no?
No, I left.
So how did you know that she was there with a guy and not like a girl?
I mean, you just know.
Yeah.
You know.
So where did she say she was?
Well, it was a thing where I was working overtime because she was looking for, we had just moved to a new city and she was looking for a job and she's all stressed out because she couldn't find a job. Now, I have no idea why, because I wasn't putting the expectation on her, but she was putting it on herself. And so she was mad at me because she didn't have a job and it was a new city and she's blaming everything on me because moving to that city was my fault and my idea. And so I would come home and I was working 50 to 60 hours a week, paying the bills. And then she was mad at me for being able to work, but I had to work a lot to pay the bills. And she's just one of those where, you know, I guess when she gets mad at whoever she's with, she goes to cheat, I guess. But
oh, so she was mad at you and like cheating spitefully.
Yeah.
Was she sleeping with them or going on dates? Do you know how far she took? You don't know, but it was enough. I know it was dates. I mean, I'm assuming the worst. It was everything. Yeah.
So, but yeah, you know, that's what happens when you're, you know, that's why I keep telling you guys, never trust a guy who says he's never simped. This is the West. 90% of us have simped. It's just a matter of how bad and how long. And remember, the red pill, you don't take it orally most of the time. It gets shoved up your ass.
Lucky Leo says, "Hi Pearl, I wanted to call in, but I'll just add a text. My wife cheated on me with a divorce lawyer. We had 3 little kids, then she filed, had to sell the house, and was forced to move back home." Damn. I don't think your message is bleak or black-pilled. The Bible says this life is the valley of tears, and Jesus says that the devil is prince of the world. Tradcons romanticize the past. Oh, I want to read a comment I saw on Twitter. I asked the question, what's the worst guy that's stolen your girl or something like that? Or who has stolen your girl that, I don't know, was just like really bad. And it said, I've had 6-pack abs for 20 years. I make $150K a year. I'm an amazing dad who was awarded majority custody after a divorce. I don't gamble. I don't drink. And I took care of all the finances and all the regular household duties. My ex-wife cheated on me with a hospital security guard. Sorry, guys. I got to laugh a little bit because we're insane.
Also, hey, so Pearl and I got into this discussion. What does it mean that a guy took your girl? Does the girl have to leave you for him, or just a guy that smashed your chick took your girl? Because I was saying, can you consider it your girl being taken by another guy if she's just trying to be a whore and cheat?
It's almost worse than getting your girl taken, though, because you're paying all the bills. He's getting the he's getting the best part of her. He's getting like the hot sex and whatever.
I mean, it's all bad, but
like, at least if he took her, she's not your problem anymore.
Yeah, that's true. All right, guess who's up first? Sean, what's up, my friend? How's it going? Let's go.
What's good, Doug? What's good, Pearl? How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I can't complain. Life is good. Shout out to all you guys, man. Y'all are having a ball out here, laughing and having fun. So shout outs to you guys.
I've been surviving after our breakup. It's been tough, but I've been making it through.
Oh, just real fast.
How are you emotionally and spiritually right now, Pearl?
Just real fast. Hold on. Yes, everyone in the chat. I'm one of those 90s raised men. Most the guys raised in the 90s with the R&B Boys to Men music, and then the sitcoms with Urkel chasing Laura and Roger chasing the sister twins. The guys raised in the 90s, we were the biggest, most romantic simps ever born into the United States, and we all had to learn the hard way. All of us, every single one of us. So that's why most of your red pill content creators are between the ages of like 43 and like 50 or something like that, because we had it we had the biggest wake up call of any generation. I'm sorry, go ahead, Sean.
No, shout outs to you, Doug. You remind me of my Jeep.
I know, right?
We had those simp songs that
100%, man.
But Pearl,
I'll make
seriously.
love to you, ain't when you want me. Oh, come on, man. All of
Pearl,
it.
how are you emotionally and spiritually? Have you been able to? What's up with your life? Is everything okay since the breakup?
Yeah, I've been. It's been tough, but I think it was the best decision. We were just two puzzle pieces that didn't fit.
And it was really about you just finding yourself, being there for yourself and developing. And I'm glad that you're happy, because that's the most important thing for you.
This is so good.
Oh man. So of course, I had situations where I caught somebody cheating, but it really wasn't a situation where I caught them cheating. They told me they were cheating. And I think I already shared it with you guys, the one that was on my birthday. So I had a good old...
You can rehash that if you want to.
Yeah, go ahead. All right. So I'm chilling, right? Just relaxing. It's my birthday, so I'm relaxing. And it was my recent birthday that just passed a couple of months ago. And so one of my linglings, she comes over, she has this fruit cake. She went out with her mom and she made it. And, I don't eat like cake, so she made it just the fruit, right? Mm. They put it together. They bring it. And, she comes up by herself and we're sitting around. And she lights the candles on secret and boom, she brings it in. And then I'm like, oh, snaps. Okay, cool. Don't care. But anyways, she brings it. I blow out the candles, make my wish. Boom. And then I look to her and say, how you doing? Everything's good? And she's like, yeah. I'm just so excited that, I made this cake. Me and my mom took the time and da-da-da-da. I said, I appreciate it. I was like, everything's good in the relationship, right? Any problems, any complaints, any issues? She gets dead quiet, right? I lean in, I hold her hand, and I say, you sure? You could tell me anything. I always have an open door policy. This is what my commanding officer used to tell us, yeah? You always get troops that will come and tell you they did something if you always have an open door policy. So she sat there for a long time contemplating, am I going to tell him this shit? So a little bit later, she comes out and she's like, one time. And then she starts crying. Ah!
Of course.
And I'm like, it's okay. Get it out. I'm like, tell the truth, help yourself of all this pain and secret and lies. So she ends up telling, yeah, she slept with a guy. She met him at the mall, something where she works, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it's completely fine. And I said, hey, why do you think you've done that? Like, what was going on? And of course, it was me. But net, I was like, okay, but it's never me. It's always you. You did it for a specific reason. You have to explore that reason. You have to figure out why. Do you love this guy? No, I love you. I love you. You know, all that garbage. And net, as I told you guys, after an advanced conversation, I put her on a motorbike, kissed her on the forehead, and she drove off into the sunset. And we're still cool to this day. But she has been categorized differently. She was always categorized differently. But net, you just move on. It's been hard to recover. No, I'm just kidding. So that's how it went down.
Yeah, you're dangerous. You would get a girl to admit it to you. That's awesome. So was there something that like made you like, was she acting different or what? Or was she just that type of person?
Man, bro, I really didn't know, really didn't care. And plus, she gave me her track, so I knew where she was. I rarely check it all the time. But, you know, CGA says it only takes 10 minutes for a girl to cheat, 5 minutes at that, you know? So it's no tracking that you could actually do that actually will figure it out. But no, I just had open-end conversations. I always said truth was the most important thing in a relationship. And so I always had that narrative. And so she felt like she was, you know, liberated and free enough to tell me the truth. And so, like I said, if you tell me the truth, I won't punish you for it. And so I wasn't like one of those guys that you said, Pearl, oh, you going on the internet? Oh, yeah, we about to shame you. I'm about to. Nobody cares, bro. I just want the truth. And so I guess she said she felt as though it was my birthday and I deserved the truth. Other people will say it's poor timing, but what I would say is I don't care when the truth comes on my birthday, after my birthday. When people want to say it, it might be the only time that they say it. So, you know, emotions go here and there. So you better get the truth when you get it. And so it really was nothing. She just came out and just said it.
How long were you guys dating?
About 2 years.
Oh, wow.
But everybody has their reasons. So
do you just assume after a certain amount of time that they're just gonna...
I just assumed from the beginning. Humans are humans and they're gonna, you know, like Doug got a story. Guys are gonna call up. Everybody's got a story. One of the things I said is you gotta be indifferent. Don't put your ego into what a girl does with her box. That's gonna be the destruction of you. So when somebody comes to you and says, I gave my box away, it's your loss. It really is. What did I lose? Nothing. But I guess when you're married with 7 kids and she getting half of your assets, that's a little bit different. But if you're just dating a girl, that's why you don't overcommit.
Yeah, some of the videos, the guys are like crashing out. And I'm like, guys, she does not care. I thought the best one was when the guy just said, get out, like we're done, get out. That's it.
Yeah. And I don't even use curse words or nothing like that. I don't say get out because that stuff could be taken over somewhere. You know that, Pearl.
Yeah.
So a judge or somebody who's still a simp, right? Blue pill rage, and they're going to be like, oh, you can't talk to her like that. And so I just be like, oh, okay.
Pearl and I, we were talking about this before the call. And she's like, what would you do if you got caught cheating and your girl put a camera in your face? And we were going back and forth a little bit. And I said, I think the best thing to do is just to say nothing and just leave, because anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of public opinion on that video. So just don't say anything. Just leave.
Facts.
In fact, Sean, what would you do if you were if you were wronging out there? You got caught and you go pull out a camera, you get caught red-handed. What would you do?
Well, Pearl, I don't know what she was about to say, but what I was going to say is I always tell girls I'm never going to be monogamous. So I wouldn't get caught cheating. I would be doing what I'm doing. Now, of course, they could still put the camera in my face, right? And be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you actually did it. And I'd be like, well, that's what I told you. But I wouldn't say nothing either. Like you said, what's the point of saying something? It's not going to get me nowhere. Like, you made a smart decision. Don't go in the restaurant. I mean, what are you about to do? Crash out? Like, people trying to eat. You cheated on me, Shaniqua, with this guy? And then everybody be looking at you like, what the hell? So it's not going to help you to go in there and confront anybody. That could be a crash out guy too. You don't want to do that. He might pull out a burner. So keep her.
I could see you just being like, so how does the cheating make you feel? Are you okay?
Yeah. For real. That's how I'm gonna do it, bro.
That's true. I can see Sean, honey, sit down. Let's talk about this. And then the other girl, I think I should leave. Oh, no, you should stay too.
We should all talk about how we're feeling.
Yeah, how are you guys feeling?
Let's figure out a way to. I know you met her, she met you. How do you feel about meeting each other? Is this the type of girl that you'd want to hang out with?
Yeah,
I think you two might have a lot in common.
Aftercare, man. I'm trying to hook it up, man. Hey, look, you got her. It's yours. Best of luck. I really don't care. Long as your life is good in itself, then it is what it is. I mean, people cheat all day, every day around the world. And they cheat at the same rates. So it's just a reality you got to deal with. It's not going to.
Do you think
it's not going to destroy me? Go ahead.
Do you think women always cheat to leave? Because I don't think, like, they always say when women cheat with a guy, they always like him. I'm like, I think
that's false.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's super false.
Like,
that's some red pill talking point. Yeah, no. That's crazy. Girls cheat because girls sleep with guys just because they want to try them out. We talked about that before.
Yeah.
Like, it's all sorts of reasons, but guys like to give them this sweet and spice and everything nice image, which is, no, girls, they got to have some emotion with you. Us guys, we don't have to have emotions. That's a lie. Most guys are running around here with more emotions than anybody else. And most of the girls, well, they can do it for whatever sorts of reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think
I sum it up this way, Sean. I sum it this way. What do I? Nothing is more important to modern women than their own selfish desires, and cheating is just another form of them pursuing their own selfish desires. Why did she sleep with that guy? Because she wanted to, and what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Because she wanted to. That's why. I sum it up to that.
Yeah. She wanted to, and then she could give you a reason. Like, the girl gave me a reason, like, oh, because I don't remember the reason, but it was something of the sort. It's like, oh, he understood my pain. I was like, I bet he said he did.
Wait, what?
I understand you, girl. I would never do that to you. I get it. And boy, okay, cool. Whatever your reason is, everybody's got a reason. And some could be reason with, hey, I liked him. He looked good, and I wanted to hook up with him. Hey, I did it. Now I look back. I messed up. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's their reason. They're going to do what they want to do. You're going to have to let that go.
Like women?
And decide to categorize people. Like Tate said in that interview, you categorize people and then just say, okay, roger that.
Women cheat with men they hate and like don't even like them. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't like them as people. Like, I'm like, there are times when women, like, do you think the guy I read earlier, she was really trying to leave with the hospital security guard? Come on. She was not cheating to leave. Come on.
No, she just categorized them and used them for a specific thing and then took it there with them.
Yeah.
And that's just that.
Yeah.
And they got massive amounts of options. I'd say, often when they say, like, it's a problem with social networking, I'm like, bro, it's giving you guys the truth. This used to be in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the slave master, he was a slave master, and his wife was still cheating with slaves. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? He was a slave master. I'm pretty sure he was the top 1%, but it didn't matter. She was like, I want to sleep with a slave. I want to try him, or whatever the case may be. So at the end of the day, some shorties ran off with a slave. Like, what the heck?
Or they just get bored. Like, women will have like the best sex of their life, and then they're bored after a year, 2 years, 5 years.
Facts, bro.
They want to go back.
So your appetite is. Go ahead.
What do you say to all these guys that are like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go to a different country because women, they won't cheat and they're better there? And what would you say to those guys?
Look, there's differences, my guys. I'm not gonna say there's no difference, but to say that they don't cheat is crazy. I forgot, Pearl, when you did that with the president, the French president, when he got slapped, right? Remember he got slapped?
Yeah.
And then he said
by
he
his
didn't get
wife.
slapped?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vietnamese men came out and said, hey, you get slapped by your wife too? Because they were saying we get slapped by our wives. So in Asia, passive, submissive Asian girls slap their husbands too. Like, ladies are ladies, man. They cheat out here too, bro. Like India is very bad, but I think they did a study. It was 7 out of 10 women in India were cheating on their husbands because they were bored. In India, you can get some issues. Let's just say that, yeah? Like,
And
they take that seriously, and they still did it.
And men will have all these ideas to get women to not cheat. They'll think, oh, if she just doesn't work and she's a housewife. The neighbor.
That's the worst.
The pool boy. Like, do you know, like...
Yeah, exactly, milkman.
What are you going to lock her in the house? Like, she goes to the grocery store. Come on. Like...
That's why they had the chastity belt, Pearl. It was that bad.
Do you know what
man,
I decided? I think the best job for a girl to have is an engineer, a female engineer, where they'd be the least likely to cheat. Now, this is me spitballing here, but I was thinking about it. I'm like, engineers, the archetype is that they're pretty dorky guys. So maybe she'd be like less likely to find a guy at work if she's an engineer. That was
then also
that was my spitball, but it's no guarantees. Feel free to spitball if you have like a profession or a place that women are better or worse.
No guarantees.
Well, also I can tell you, so it takes a certain type to be an engineer, because even like when you're young, you know the type of guys that are going to be engineers, and you know the type of girls that are going to be engineers too, because even the girls are kind of socially awkward and quiet and stuff. So I think just by that alone, they're less likely to cheat, because women pay severely for being the engineering type, because they exhibit traits that men don't like, and then women make them pay severely for not being able to adhere to the social cues and social rules of female circles. So I just think that female engineers are less likely to cheat because they just don't. That quiet, kind of mousy, nerdy type, not a lot of guys like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I say this. Look, at the end of the day, I think the best strategy is insulate yourself from what cheating can do to you versus trying to stop cheating.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, oh man, how do I stop a girl from cheating? Figure out how to insulate you from being affected by someone cheating. That's the best strategy. That's within your control. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So for me, even like when she was crying and like, oh man, you're not sad. I'm like, nah, I lost brothers in arms in combat. Like, that's more hard for me to get over versus you deciding to go cheat. Like, whatever, man, bounce. And it's not in an evil way. It's just like, I get it. You know, do you, whatever. People do that. Life has been harsher to me than that. So that's a minor thing, but that's because my mindset is not tied into it so much. Like, oh my God, she's my girl. She's supposed to stay faithful, only me. That's a lie. R. Kelly, Genuine, all them guys lied. That stuff ain't real, man. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, you don't want to be O.J. Simpson. Where he crashed out.
I was telling Pearl about the whole.
I didn't realize that she cheated. I did not know that part of the story.
She did?
No, she did.
Hey, Pearl, can you bring up that video of Hulk Hogan's wife crashing out?
Oh, Hulk Hogan's? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, remember, Hulk Hogan's wife started sleeping with her son's best friend. So he was 28 and she was 50 at the time. And she put a charge on Hulk Hogan. He had to leave his house. And I remember Hulk Hogan was like, I don't condone what OJ did, but I understand because I got this 28-year-old kid living in my house, banging my wife and driving the Ferrari that I bought for her. Like, I'm not saying what he did was right, but I understand. Well, now that guy finally broke up with her 8 years later, and she's crashing out like, "Oh, man, my life is so terrible." And then I guess Brooke Hogan won't talk to the mom anymore. Hasn't talked to her since, and she's trying to say that it was all Hulk Hogan's fault, and that she's tried her best to try to get back with him, but he's a narcissist. You left him for a 28-year-old for your son's best friend, and so and then Pearl had no idea. The O.J. Simpson case. I had to run into the O.J. Simpson case.
I didn't know that the guy died too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there was a guy there that I guess she was cheating with that died too.
A personal trainer.
What?
I don't know.
He was crashing out based off of that. Dang.
Well, I just can't believe he got away with it if the personal trainer died too.
Yeah. Yep.
He had some good lawyers.
Yeah. This is the crash out.
My crying face. I have to be honest about what I went through in my marriage with Terry as Hulk Hogan and what it entailed and what it has caused over the years and everything else. He's a complete liar. He's a sex addict. Your face out there and know that all these horrible things are going on behind the scenes. Yet he marches on. He marches on like, yeah, oh, I'm promoting my own beer, real American beer. Yeah, look at me. Woo! Yeah, he's such a hero, right? Not. Okay, I'm going to give you my thumbs down. I've given him more opportunities to come back and make us a family. And
did you hear that?
And try to, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Ugly face.
Okay.
I can't hear it if it's still going.
No, it ended.
Yeah.
No,
but did you hear it? She said, "I've given him opportunities to come back to put the family back together, but he won't do it because he's a narcissist." You left him for a 28-year-old. See. And then that's Hulk Hogan's new girlfriend. If you can see it, I think she's. Let's see, how old is Hulk Hogan's new girlfriend? Okay, he's 71 and she's 45. So there's a 26-year age gap between the two. And she's 58, almost 60. Yeah. Yep.
Just take the L.
Right?
Yeah, it's not if your ex is going to do better, it's when he's going to do better. Just accept it, ladies. It's not if, it's when. If he can get you, congrats, you're the floor of what he can officially get. He can now get women hotter than you, Pete Davidson effect. Just take the L, But she can't. Now she's crashing out.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We got over 2 million. We're on the road to 3 million. Make sure to hit that Zoom link up top and call in with any stories. If you're a man, have you ever caught anyone cheating? And if you're a woman, do you know of any guys who got cheated on, or did any of your scandalous friends cheat on their husbands? Hit that Zoom link and call in.
I know someone that got cheated on with a mechanic, and this was like an alcoholic mechanic. She actually left him for the mechanic. He was a farmer too. He's a good farmer. Had a whole farm. Had a good.
Since I had a lot of ladies, I did have another woman cheat on me. It went down differently though.
She crashed out or what?
No, this is funny actually. Well, I think it's funny, but net. We were in a relationship. This one was 8 years, this relationship. Mm-hmm. And anyways, we don't usually see each other because I'm always at tour, going to embassies and working. So it was more of a long distance relationship. But anyways, she worked remotely at this point in her career. Mm-hmm. So she was working remotely. And it was after the pandemic. So, everything was on lockdown. I was in Israel, she was in Poland, and it was hard for her to get to me. Finally, we were able to link in Turkey after the pandemic, right? So boom, fast forward. She's there. She's like staying with me long term because usually I don't be trying to live with girls every day. So net, she was there for a long term, about 2 months, right? Mm-hmm. And she was planning to stay. Mm-hmm. So anyways, she's like, "Oh, I have a trip to Dubai." So she had a trip to Dubai for her work, right? Yeah, she works online, pharmaceutical company said, hey, we're going to all have a company trip. I was like, wait, hold on. You know, if you go there and they close the borders again, we ain't going to see each other for a while again. And she was very adamant before about like us meeting up and, you know, the pandemic and etc. So I said, this is, you know, kind of contradictory. So I was like, all right, cool. But net in my head, I'm like, yo, that's suspect. Why are you trying to go to a business meeting that bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, she goes, she comes back. And then so net, she was sleeping. I was like, in the iPhone, I don't be caring. I go, I ain't one of those guys. Don't, if you go on your girl phone, you a punk. Whatever. So anyways, I'm in the phone. I see pictures of her and a guy like out on a dinner date, right? Solo, brunch, they on a date, like solo, right? So anyways, boop, I get out the phone and they close. They like taking pictures like this, like, yeah. So they super close. So I was like, all right, that's the guy. That's the guy, right? And so anyways, later on I asked her, I'm like, yo, how was the Dubai trip and stuff like that? She's like, oh, it was good. You know, I was only out with us and employees, you know, and then when I went out, I went by myself to this place and that place, that was it. So I said, okay. And then I was on the phone doing something else one day, looking for a photo. She gave me the phone and I was like, hey, what happened to the photo with you and the guy? She said, huh? What guy? And I'm like, you had a photo with you and the guy in Dubai. I think he was your, you know, co-worker. Oh, no, I deleted it. I was like, what'd you delete that for? And she was like, oh, well, I just, you know, I didn't want you to get mad. I didn't want you to, you know, get angry. And of course, I was like, all right, I know what it is. You know, y'all clap cheeks, it is what it is, right? So my homie was like, what you gonna do about it? I was like, nothing, man. She's still at the house cooking for me. So I was like, you know, as long as I was in Turkey, she was gonna stay there. She was gonna cook. I wasn't gonna make her my wife though. You get me? So I think like you gotta categorize people. And so at that time I just categorized the relationship. Like, yeah, it's cool.
But you're
And then
not
we
going to
moved
make
forward.
anyone your
Go ahead.
wife, right? Because aren't you coach CGA? I forgot what it's called.
Exactly,
Yeah.
girl.
So who cares?
But exactly, who cares? But at the end of the day, even if I categorize the girl like ride or die, you know, it wouldn't be marriage, but it would be like ride or die.
Yeah.
I still would put that on her, like, you know, she's able to cheat, man. Like, and so you just gotta have that assumption she's a human. Nobody's perfect. And so, and they all have different perspectives, you get me? And so they consider, like, they literally, like that Hulk Hogan lady, did she feel like she felt like she was in the right, Doug? After she cheated and everything, she was like, and he won't get the family back together. It's his fault.
Yep, it's modern women. I'm gonna bring in Brian.
Bro, that's women historically. That's not modern. It's been like that for ages. Marcus Aurelius' wife cheated on him. Marcus Aurelius.
You want to take a call or two with that, Sean? Cool.
Yeah.
Let me bring in Brian.
Patrice O'Neill said, you can't control a woman's body, but her mind be indifferent to women and you won't be a slave to them. There's one more I thought I was supposed to read. I think at the end. Even the
Brian, are you
smooth
there?
talking dude gets cheated on. Hey, Brian, how's it going?
Brian, you're on mute. Brian, you're on mute. Brian, unmute. Brian going once. Brian going twice.
I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
How's it going, Brian?
Hey, what's up? I was on your live, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Make sure you turn off I hear an echo, and they usually mean
I'm sorry.
It's
You're right.
going in the background.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So, who did you catch cheating, and who were they cheating with?
Okay, very good question. I called in this live because I had a story I wanted to share. As you know, last time I told you I was in China, and I had a girlfriend there when I first.
Oh yeah, the guy in China. Yeah, that was a great call. Good to hear from you again, buddy.
Well, thank you, guys. Thank you. I wanted to share another not so flattering story, but it happened. I just got to China about 5 years ago. This was a long time ago, in the beginning, in early 2000s, and I had a girlfriend there, and she was in a place called Shenzhen. Now, my story is a little different. I met her. She was an older woman. I was like in my I was in like my late 20s, and she was like 23. I'm sorry, no, she was younger than me. I was a little older, but she was younger than me. So I was with her, and we were going out, and she would, help me out. Maybe at that time I didn't have a whole bunch of money. So she wouldn't give me money, but she would help me buy some stuff, then I pay her back because something happened and I had a hard time getting settled there. It's a long story. Mm-hmm. So anyway, what I found out later on is that she actually had a husband and didn't tell me and got me involved in the relationship. So she would have me, for example, when I would go to the store, she would drive around and she would help me. She had a car, but her husband was paying up for everything. And what they do in China is that many people, where I lived in China, it was called Shenzhen. Many Chinese would have like boyfriends who were rich from Hong Kong, and then they would finance their wives in Shenzhen. So there was a lot of mistresses. That's the word, mistresses there. And this girl actually ended up being a mistress, and she was a mistress of this other guy. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. She was actually married. This happened so long ago, and didn't tell me. And her husband actually, was away, and then she would give me all this stuff. So then, by the time she told me all this, that she was actually married, it was too late for me. Because I already, kind of fallen in love with the girl. So I went out with her continuously for about 3 months, and then after that, I cut it off. Okay. So basically that's the story. So when I found out from that is that you have to be careful and ask women, who they're actually seeing or if they have a boyfriend. Because I always assumed back then that if you had a boyfriend,
you would tell,
or if you were married, that you would tell somebody.
Got it.
Just real fast, can you sum up the because last time you were on the show, you dispelled a lot of myths that people have about Chinese women. Mm-hmm. So just take 20, 30 seconds to any Western guy that has a misconception that Chinese women are super conservative and don't cheat and stuff. Can you give a quick 2-3 points to dispel the misconception about Chinese women?
Yeah. This is the biggest misconception that Chinese women tell everybody, that American culture is, they have a word in China, they always say it's called kaifang. Mm-hmm. Kaifang means open. You hear this a lot, like Americans are very kaifang and Chinese are very baoshou. Baoshou means like conservative in Chinese. You hear this all the time. They'll say, well, Americans don't understand China because, Chinese are very conservative. Mm-hmm. We have an ancient Confucius culture, and, we're just very conservative. Now, back then, that was a little more true because people just did things under the closet. But today it's more out in the open, but Chinese still say that. Like this girl, she told me that she was very conservative, mm-hmm. and, and all this stuff. But later on, actually, I met her husband, and she acted all cool, like we really didn't know each other. We just met each other. And I don't want to go into it now, but there's a lot of women are very sneaky about how they plan their affairs. And so the first thing she did was not tell me. But to answer your question, yeah, that was a big myth because I thought China was much more conservative and people didn't go out and do that compared to the West here. But they do stuff under the sheets, behind the closet, behind closed doors. And another thing too, you'd be surprised because this lady, she was like a banker. She had a lot of prestige and stuff like that. And you wouldn't think that would be happening. At least me back then. I remember I was in my late 20s back then. I'm 50, almost. I'm over 50 now, but back then I was in my late 20s, so I was kind of naive. So that's the thing that I think they fool a lot of foreigners into thinking that Asian culture is very conservative, but
Mm-hmm.
they follow the rest of the world in these kind of things. So,
okay. Cool.
So that was my story, Pearl, and I can share with you a lot of stories, but I don't want to take up everybody else's time. But there's a lot. Most of my experience has been with China and Asian women, so I have a lot of.
Cool.
In the future, when there's other topics I can share.
Sure, please call in anytime, okay?
Yeah, I don't want to bore you, but thank you for having me again, and I'll come on again later on and share some more.
Awesome.
Always
Thanks
good
for
talking to
calling
you.
in.
Cool. Next up, we have Let's you there?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. So I have a story about when I was cheated on. At the end of this, you guys will probably fight me on this because this is pretty simp behavior.
That's all right. It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Yep. We've all said, I've told stories of my sipping many times on this channel.
This is a safe space.
Well, thank you. So a girl I dated recently, I'm going to call her Helen, not her real name. So we dated for about 2 years. We were pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
And she went on a backpacking trip for a couple months throughout Europe for like a hacker hostel type of program. And throughout this process, she was also going through a lot of like personal stuff with her family. And that made her feel like very unsure of herself and very anxious. And because of that, like she cheated on me with a bunch of people. Like I'm not even sure how many. I want to guess like 40 or so.
Wait,
over
what?
the course of
In what time period?
3 months.
She cheated on you with 40 people in 3 months?
Yeah, that's right.
How did you find out?
So she came back to where we live together in New York, and we talked about it. She initially just said, "Hey, I don't think this is working. I want to break up." And then I kept asking her why, and the reason she was giving just doesn't make sense. I kept pressing on, and then slowly, like information started trickling through. The story she's saying now is that our interests don't align, meaning I want to like have a normal life, like work a normal career, like have a family, whereas she wants to constantly travel. So she's dating someone who is like taking her on vacations constantly. So currently she's in France seeing a vineyard or something like that. It's interesting because my understanding is for the first couple months of her seeing this new guy, she was also cheating on him with other guys, like just whoever would take her out on trips to Dubai or wherever the hell or anywhere else. But then
how attractive
recently,
was she? 1 to 10. How attractive?
I
Be
would
honest.
say probably about the same as you, Pearl.
Oh, so like mid 6, 5, 6.
Oh, I would.
Okay.
6.5.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
So it's interesting because I feel like on one hand it's fairly impressive that she's able to consistently get guys to take her out on fancy trips like this. Like not just 1 or 2 guys, like consistently get new guys. Like she's not a supermodel, so this is this is an interesting thing to see.
And she's getting trips to like Dubai and stuff. Is she on like an escort website?
She is not. She is literally just like going on Bumble and then just matching with whichever successful guy she meets, or at wherever hotel, at any fancy place, she just talks to a guy and it just works.
Does her reputation
again, very impressive
not, does her reputation not like start to precede her? Like, doesn't she start to get a bad reputation? Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. I don't think she has a reputation because she's been able to keep it under wraps. So as far as I understand, the first couple months of her dating this new guy, Hank, she was cheating on him with a bunch of other people, and then really she only told her sisters and maybe some close friends and nobody else. And then she either has stopped doing that now or is still doing that and is just much more secretive. Either is possible, it's not clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the sad part of this is, on one hand, like, I recognize this, but I also like feel bad for her. Like, I think she's someone who's not sure of herself and has low self-confidence. And I still care about her. Like, I want to support and tell her, like, hey, it's not your fault. I don't blame you and I don't hate you. I care about you and I want to be your friend, but I'm not sure how to go about that.
Why even bother?
Why would you want to be your friend?
Well, this is someone I have a long history with, and I think, like, at her core, she wants to.
She's got a history with a lot of people. She's got a history with everybody.
I know, right? So here's what you can do for me, my friend. Every so often, you got to put a T chart on a piece of paper like you did in school, like, one line down, one line across. And you got to put you got to put my problem on one side and not your problem on the other side, and audit all the issues in your life and make sure that the issues in your life are either, you got to recognize which ones are your problem and which ones aren't your problem. Okay, this girl's not your problem, dude. It's not. And also, men, we only have a certain amount of romantic energy that we can give out, especially if you're trying to be successful. Don't give relationship energy to some chick or to a friend that's a girl or some girl that's done you wrong. You gotta if a girl does you wrong, some of the best advice I ever got was, consider yourself lucky when someone does some organization or something tells you everything that you need to know. If a woman cheats on you, she told you everything that you need to know, man. What are you still talking to her for? It's not your problem.
I care about her. Yeah,
why?
I care about her. So this is, you guys will probably fight me on this. This is ultra simp of me, but if she were to be willing to go to therapy, and willing to go to like some ultra expensive rehab, and I found like one that's really good and costs $70,000, I'd be willing to pay for it. She's willing to take back. She's not willing to have the conversation.
I can't. Oh my God. Pro, what do you got?
I have no words.
What? Come on, man.
All right, what?
Sean,
have you gone on a date with anybody else? Like, have you dated since?
No, I've gone out with girls as friends, but I haven't gone.
Yeah, it's time to find some new hoes. Yeah.
Is this girl the only girl that you slept with or something?
No. My body count's low, but not that low. Like 7.
The only reason you're thinking, like, you gotta find some more girls. Sean, you got anything?
I get it. You really care about the individual. So I don't think you got to be F her, You want to see her do well. So what I would just also say is it's her journey, You can only help so much, but it's her choice to get better. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of people out here hurting in the world, going through real problems, like massively worse problems than what she's going through, which is a lot of self-created problems and internal problems. But she has to do the work, and you can't do it for her. And so net, you can do the best of what you have done, which is give her the proper avenues to take, right? But you can't make a horse drink the water. So you've done your duty in your mind to be good to somebody who's meant something to you. You get what I'm saying? And so therefore, that's it right there. You've done it. Now you have to move on and pursue other opportunities. You can still care for that person. I'm not saying what you're doing is wrong and don't do it, but you've already set it up so they can benefit from it, and it's their choice to do it. Don't hang your hat on it because it's their journey to take.
And I'm going to say, well, situations like this, dealing with the wrong woman, being in a bad relationship, it's kind of like weight loss. Okay. You see people that, oh yeah, I'm big, like the Lizzos. Oh yeah, I'm big and I'm proud, stuff, whatever. But then they lose the weight. And people think that losing the weight is the hardest part. It's not. It's when you get the quality of life that you've been wanting, and then you look back on all the time that you wasted not putting in the work to lose the weight. A bad relationship or dealing with a toxic woman is like that. If you do the right work and focus on yourself, you will find the woman for you. All you're doing right now is making the regret when that happens even worse by dealing with this woman. You're giving this woman time and resources that you could be giving to yourself first, and then a woman that's actually healthy. And one day you're going to realize that there's nothing special about this girl. I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later. And just the more you do for this woman, the more you're going to be angry at yourself when you finally get the quality of life that you want. So take that into consideration. There's nothing special about this girl, nothing. Once you be with enough women, you realize too many of them are all the same.
Yeah, man, I hear you. I think the challenge here is there were 2 years where we were together where she was mentally well, where she wasn't like this. There was a brief period like before she met me when she went wild briefly, but I have seen her when she was stable and normal, and I'm hoping like that she can go back to that. And like it was almost as though like something snapped in her, and she's now in this type of behavior. And for one, it's even though we're not together and it's just me caring about her, there's still like that degree of care where like this is when I dated her, I committed to be as close to perfect as possible for her. And I think being true to that would mean like now that even we're breaking up, I should still commit to trying to support her and help her because this issue arose when we were together.
Not your problem, man. It's just not. Here's the thing. Just do me a favor, if you can. Just disengage. You don't have to make a big scene out of it. You don't have to be vindictive. Just disengage. Stop picking up the phone.
We currently aren't really contacting each other.
Okay, good. Stay on that. Because, like Sean says, she's going to have to figure it out herself. And you don't have any justifiable reason to talk to this woman that doesn't involve emotions. So, and most of the time, your emotions are a you problem. But you got to get away from this girl. Once again, you're going to find the quality of life that you want. But just you got to get there, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for your thoughts.
Thanks for calling in, okay? Call in anytime.
All right, thanks for having
me. Wow. Yeah. But, I didn't want to go on the guy because he calls in a lot. He's a really good caller. And, he sounds like he's young. And, I'm sorry, guys. A lot of us.
Sometimes you got to make them. You can't stop a guy from making those mistakes. They just got to learn the hard way.
A lot of us have simped. A lot of us have.
Just like, there's stuff women have to go through. There's stuff men have to go through. It's just part of life.
Mm-hmm. Guys, like the stream, please. Subscribe if you haven't already. We are on our way to 3 million. And I'm going to let in Charles because he was in the Audacity chat. Asked for the link. Charles, how you doing, buddy? You're on mute, Charles. Okay, now you're off mute.
How's it going?
Hey, Charles, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys? Good. This is a great topic, and I really feel for the guy. You know what? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm listening. I look at the chat this way, so if I don't look at the camera, it's just because I just look at it. There's chats, but go ahead.
I'm good.
So go ahead. What did you have?
Go ahead, Charles. Go ahead.
I feel for the guy, Pearl. I feel for the guy, Doug. Something is doubling here.
You probably have the YouTube open on a different screen.
Oh, I do. Actually, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that.
Because there's a delay.
I gotta close the YouTube. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
So I feel for that guy. You know, I've been there. We've talked before, and you know me. I'm 60. I talk to young guys like much like Sean.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my divorce was brutal. My ex-wife cheated on me. When I got injured in the line of duty, you know, she fell into being an alcoholic, and she started cheating with a coworker and then a yoga instructor, and you know, I ended up finding out about it when I was doing some simp behavior. I tried to fix my marriage. I did the counseling thing. And the counseling thing's a racket for simping. It's a total racket for simping.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
was your counselor
New York.
Was your counselor a woman or a man?
It was a man.
Oh, okay. So it's most of the time it's a woman, but go ahead.
And it's still a racket for simping. I took her to New York, took her to shows. And, you know, it's funny. I used to live in Mass, so we flew into TF Green Airport in Providence.
Mm-hmm.
And the night we got back, she fell asleep in the car. And she started getting texts from the dude while we were driving back. How did it go with your husband? I miss you. I love you. And
God, man,
she's asleep, and I'm hearing all these messages coming through the car, and I'm like, So I filed for divorce a few days later, but you know, we all do that. But that guy, I'm sorry, you know, I'm going to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Feminism is a form of mental illness, and the women that are out there, they're nut jobs, just flat out nut jobs. And people like you, Pearl, people who are red pilled and standing up for men, the brunt of what you have to face is unbelievable. And I love what Sean was saying about his commanding officer's right. If you have an open door policy, they're going to tell you their guilt, whatever it is, their self-righteousness, they're going to come to you and they're going to think it's going to be okay. And Sean is dead on balls accurate about.
Is that what happened to you?
Cook my meals, but the day you stop, you're out. You know, like, see ya. I got nothing for you.
Is that what happened to you? Did you have like an open door policy, or how did you originally catch her?
Oh, I caught her just because she started drinking and she was just making mistakes, like, you know, and it was interesting. I lost my identity. I had brothers in arms like Sean. Mm-hmm. My job was my identity. I was a tip of the spear guy. When I lost it, I was angry. I was pissed off. I gained weight. I drank. I had, you know, PTSD, the whole 9 yards. So God love her. She went somewhere else. But, you know, these young guys have to realize if they find out before they're married or in a situation before they end up in a you know, common law situation or living together for a year or whatever, it's a gift from God. It is a gift from God. Cut your losses and run. What's Jocko Willink say? Discipline equals freedom. Have the discipline to let them go and let the sun shine on. You know, it's going to suck. Is it going to suck? Yeah, it does. When I went through my divorce, I had planned and I filed, and I still ended up with supervised visits for 4 years that I had to pay for the Department of Youth worker to be there. And it was like 30 grand a year. I was screwed. Eventually I got a good lawyer who got me out of that situation. But you know, these young guys, that the last caller, and I'm not trying to harp on him. He's what is going on in the world right now. And I don't know how old Sean is, but Doug, you know, guys my age, your age, we have to take these guys under our wing and say, don't fall into these traps, man, because, you know, we got to take care of our brothers. And if we're not taking care of our brothers, they're just going to get taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. And the red pill community is fantastic. You know, it's funny. You know, you guys know I have a younger girlfriend, and I'm going to tell you
That's why you're so
something.
happy. I see the smile.
Yeah, that smile
that we're used to
there,
seeing.
you know, the smile's always there. But the thing is, you know, Sean said it.
Mm-hmm.
Have the strength of character to be prepared for the worst, because as happy as I am, the worst can come one day. You know, who knows? And it's going to be yep, okay, fine, great. I had a great time. Time to move on. And you don't have to be hateful about it, but these guys posting shit on YouTube, like those videos at the beginning were blowing my mind. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say something. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I can say it on YouTube or not, but you know, you can stick your dick in crazy, but don't marry crazy, because you're going to pay the price, you know? Like,
Charles, I have a question for you from the chat. Steven, one of the moderators, says, ask the caller if she tried to get his military retirement and the divorce.
Oh, so my government retirement all day long. Tried, mm-hmm. and failed miserably at it, because thank God. Now, listen, this was I'm going to say that I think how do I want to say it? The norm is they get part of it. Unfortunately for my ex, she made more money standing on her head than I ever did. Mm-hmm. You know, and that played against her. Now I didn't get alimony or anything like that, but it played against her huge. I should have. You're right. I should have. But I lived in communist Massachusetts. I'm lucky I wasn't put in prison. So I mean, I made it out. You know. But yeah, watch the pensions, guys, because I'll tell you something. The badge bunnies and the base hoes and the base 304s. They're playing that game, and if you're an officer or a senior NCO, yep, they're going to come after you. Great guns, just like the Hulk Hogan thing, which you guys played earlier. You know, I'm going to say it again, guys. Until you're 35 or 40, concentrate on making money. And I think you did a show the other night where the guy said the same thing. What was it? The real estate guy, Doug, that you guys, he was awesome. The real estate guy that Pearl knows from back in the day, and he's a content guy. He's right. Make money, focus on that. And I'm going to say, don't do it. You know, wait till you're 40 and you can start dating women 20 years younger than you. And be in the driver's seat. So that's what I got. But I'll tell you something, you know, the cheating thing, every guy, just like every guy simps, if the opportunity's there, I think every woman in this society is gonna cheat if she's got the penchant for it, no matter what relationship she's in.
Yeah.
So
cool.
if you ever hear, oh, I want to like date someone else, or maybe we should take a break. Yeah, just cut your losses and run. Date a mid, get laid every day, keep them happy, and they keep you happy. And they're 20 years younger than you. You've got it knocked. You're all set. Just like Sean said, be prepared, because one day, that next guy's going to come along. Cool. If you're not getting married. Like, I never intend to get married again.
Yeah.
So
cool. Well, thanks for calling in. Great contribution as normal. So feel free to call in anytime. Okay.
Well, thank you for having me again. Great shows, guys, and you're kicking butt.
Have a good one, my friend. All right, we're going to bring up Daniel. Guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for everyone in the Audacity chat, and thank you to all the regulars on the YouTube chat. I really appreciate it. Daniel, are you there?
Yes, I am.
How's it going, Daniel?
It's going good.
So who cheated on you? What you got for me?
I'm going to completely invert it on you.
Okay.
If they are a complete ice princess, that it is. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
What if it's 180% flipped to a complete ice princess from Frozen, to where the person that you married is ashamed of kissing you at the wedding ceremony?
Oh, okay. Can you expand on that? Uh-oh.
I think we're having technical difficulties.
Oh, we can still hear you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So your ex-wife didn't want to kiss you at the wedding ceremony?
Yes.
Oh, wow. And you accepted that?
Well, what am I supposed to do at the time? I'm the most beta male possible. She tricked me into having the kids, didn't want to take care of them, etc. But I'm just saying, not every woman is a hoe.
Okay.
Some people.
They're doing a pretty bad job of convincing us.
Princess. Yes.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling in.
I'm sorry, I can't. That was strange.
Yeah.
Last time he called in, he
said you're doing a bad job of convincing us.
I'm just saying. I hate it when guys it's like not all women are like that. I'm like, who are you white knighting for? Like, leave me alone.
Yeah, and that guy, he called in before. He was in the military. He's done some good things in his life. I know he has issues from his military service. So thank you for your service, but that was just falling apart. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he can call in again a different time. He's just got to be more concise.
Those are all the callers.
Oh, cool. It's good timing. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. I want to read a few more from. I had a Twitter thing the other day that I want to read where it was like, I tweet too much. Who stolen? I know. Your girl, Pearly things. The replies were kind of funny and
Guys, make sure to follow Pearl on X because she is off the chain on X. She gets people upset.
I know.
Are there any
where is it? I need to
Audacity
scroll for a
comments?
second. You gotta see if there's any and you can read them. I'm just gonna scroll and find it. Oh yeah, I said imagine being a man who makes six figures and is in good shape and has their girl stolen by a literal criminal. Can you imagine the stress? Okay,
Rodolfo says whatever that the last guy was smoking, make sure to give it to all of us on the Audacity chat. Come on, guys. Okay, we'll take one more because this person just came in. Oh, okay, never mind. Fell out. But yeah, guys, you know.
good timing. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. There's a
Camps, are you there? Camps?
Yeah, I'm here.
The YouTube's on. Turn the YouTube off.
Okay, we're good.
How's it going?
Hi, Pearl. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a longtime worker, so.
Cool.
I've never been cheated on, but me and my ex-wife, we did the whole open relationship thing. That didn't necessarily work out the best way, if you know what I mean.
Why not?
Well, what happens is, sorry, I'm a little nervous. What happens is, the respect went down. And as the respect went down, I started having to pull my weight around the house a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of got cold. Of course, right after we got married like a year before COVID, so it got pretty terrible after that.
So, did you get jealous when she would go on other dates with other guys, or like?
No,
did she bring him to the house?
I'm not a jealous person. Like, we both had our fun. We both slept with other people. We both slept with the same people around, and it was pretty good for a while. But then when we were stuck together, it was pretty rough.
When you were stuck together, what do you mean?
Yeah, we had a 1.5-year-old. We were all closed down and stuck in the house together, and then it got pretty toxic pretty quick.
Like what? Was she fighting you, or what was she?
Yeah, you know how it is. The nagging, all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't go into work. I was stuck there the entire time. I'd be working, and she like bring my beautiful boy, just hand him off to me, even though I was like right in the middle of it. So, but yeah, that's it for me. But what I learned is that like one day I just woke up and I just realized that there was like no respect. Like it was all gone. Like she didn't care, got toxic and everything. And I just got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I walked over to my parents' house and I slept there. And then I came back and I was like, hey, this isn't working out.
Was she relieved or did she crash out?
She crashed out pretty hard. She begged for me. It was interesting. She begged for me to say no. And I was like, why? You're miserable. And I'm miserable. So like, I think that like, if I could give any advice to our younger callers is that I've learned that men have two types of power, right? We certainly have power in the violence arena, but that's not acceptable nowadays. Like not even at all. And that's okay. But another thing that I've learned is that another power is that you can remove your energy and attention and resources. And that's like vital if you want to grow up in today's world and date.
Got it. Yeah. I agree. Doug MPA, you got any comments for him?
Nah, man. Respect. It's easier to get love back than respect. Once a woman has lost respect for you, it's over, man.
Amen. Yeah, you're totally right. Absolutely.
It's over.
Good.
Yep.
It's over.
We should do a show on open relationships and have people call in with their experience. Because that's kind of interesting.
gross.
I'd ask you more about it, but it's a little too off topic. But
no, that's fine.
I think a different day, maybe if you should call in again if we do that topic.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let me know. We'll talk about it.
Cool.
Yeah. But that's it for me. Thank you so much. I've been watching you for a while. It's the first time calling in.
Yeah, thanks so much for calling in. I love hearing from you guys, so I appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Have a good one.
You know what? I think I didn't tweet it. I think I thought I tweeted it, and I didn't. So, but I was gonna tweet like, what's the craziest girl that's stolen, or what's the craziest way a guy has stolen your girl? Like if it was like just someone you wouldn't expect, like fat, old, ugly, etc. So.
Well, that's everybody on the phone line.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for watching. And Doug MPA, Sean, you guys have any final thoughts today?
Sean?
Oh man, no. I mean, Charles said a lot of good stuff. So definitely, hey guys, focus on your life, focus on what you can control, which is not the woman and what she does, but how you react to it. And other than that, man, life is good. Shout outs to Pearl. Shout outs to Doug, MPA, and Pearl. I want you to be happy. If you need anything, I'm always here.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, and just like I said before, man, like if you find out, I asked my dad when I was young, because I watched a lot of movies when I was young, and like in the movies, guys crash out. So I asked my dad, I said, "Well, what would you do if you came home and you found mom cheating?" He's just like, "I just pack my stuff and I'd leave." And I thought he'd say, "Oh, I thought my dad would say, oh, you should crash out." And no, he's like, "Why would I risk my freedom for something like that?" No. I pack myself and I'd leave. My dad told me that when I was young, and that's exactly what I do. Guys, if you catch you are cheating, just leave. Don't do anything crazy that'll put you in jail or you lose your freedom or anything like that. Just move on with life. That's it.
Yeah. You can take a video, though, but don't crash out on the video. Just take it for court. Be like, thank you. All right. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching again. Appreciate it. Please like the video on your way out. Please subscribe to the channel if you can. And I will see you guys maybe tomorrow, probably.